Hi, Marilyn. I don't know which version you have. I have beginnings, and I've tried so many different ways to figure out where to place the next row after advancing my quilt, and this is the way that I have determined works very best for me. So up at the top, I go into settings, or you can also select down here. So if we select down here, because you can see that on the screen, then you'll get this screen and it'll say fill method, and you choose the corner one and say okay. So if I were very first starting out, then in the top left corner of my quilt top, that's where I would make that mark. But we're going to have to pretend that we're ready for the third row. So what I do is on my quilt, not on the screen, but on my quilt, I take a ruler and I line it up with where I would want that next row, the upper portion to hit. In this case, the tip of the fishing rod. So I want it to hit right here. And if you don't see grid lines on your screen, up in the options in the top right, you can click on options and under quilt motion say show grid, and you'll be able to see grid lines. And each grid line is 1 square inch. So after you lay your ruler on your quilt top and determine where is that tip, where does the tip need to hit there, then just go directly over, straight underneath the beginning and ending points of the first 2 rows, and just make a mark there. And then once you advance your quilt, then move your needle to that point that you marked over there, and then select that square at the bottom. And then when you hit trace, the machine knows where to go to start, so you're not having to set that exact starting point. And then once I do that, then I can measure between starting point or ending point to starting point, however you want to measure between them. I don't have to keep doing this the rest of the way down. I can just use my measurement. But in figuring out that third row, this is what has worked best for me, just to lay that and get that point on the left, and then when I advance the quilt, put my needle on that mark and select there and trace, and that's what's worked really well. I hope it will for you too.